Hello, hello. I was going to go to bed early. Carly, how are you? How is everything going? I'm going to have to shut my air off. We don't have the central air on. I only have my unit right now, so it's super humid. That's why I don't have the lights above me on. I just can't take it. So I'm going to shut this down, and hopefully this lamp is good enough lighting for you guys because this girl can't do heat. So, Carly, it's so good to see you. Everyone that pops in, hit that thumbs up button, please. And hello to whomever's here. Definitely say hello, where you're from. So, I haven't seen Carly in ages. Uh, I've been better, Carly. So, we all have things, ups and downs, but I've definitely been better. So, my mother said something the other day. Um, God does things on his own time, and I totally understand that. However, I have been in a major slump for quite some time, and I've been in multiple major slumps over the course of my not so long life. I am 34. I'm not 24, but um I'm having a lot of my past come back to haunt me, and it's messing with my future, and it's scary because I'm in a great relationship with a great guy who works his butt off and has the capability to have a lot in life, and he, I feel, has a burden of making sure that I'm okay financially and mentally, emotionally. And even though he says that things will work out, don't worry, give time, I have been in his shoes for like 8 years with a guy who didn't work and had a lot mentally going on. I don't have mental issues, but I know what it's like to feel like you're the only one doing something, and eventually you get tired of that. And, as much as I do for Nick, and he always says that, it's not like I just sit around and do nothing. I hustle any way I can. Um, I make sure I do whatever I can to make any kind of income because I never want to be asking for any money from anybody. But things are coming back to bite me in the butt, and it's so unfortunate because, like, the way the world is now, you know, they want you to everybody be equal, everybody work, try not to be on public assistance, not be on help from the government and things like that. And which I've never been on public assistance, but I obviously cannot afford health insurance. So I am on Medicaid because there's no way I could afford health insurance. I am currently unemployed and have been for quite some time. Rightfully so, for 2 years, I did take care of my mother who was on her deathbed. But for the last year, it's been very hard to get a job because they are checking everything, like who I owe, maybe a Kohl's bill to and never paid it. And um, if I had, I don't know, a Sears card and never paid it, they're looking into everything. And it's like, well, obviously I haven't paid my bills because I don't have any income. So until I get a job, then I can pay those bills. So how can it be used? Like, why is it being used against me? I'm seeing in all these applications that I'm doing, they're doing this Fair Credit Report Act. They're doing a tax credit report. They want to know if you've ever been on public assistance, if you've ever been on Medicaid, if you've ever had food assistance. They want to know when you've sneezed, fart, and coughed, and how many times, where, and how it felt. And it's like, whoa, what does that have to do with? Am I going to be here on time? Am I going to be able to perform my job? And a lot of the jobs that I'm applying for are retail jobs or receptionist jobs where I'd be at a front desk, answering phones, typing up some data, filing some files. I mean, come on. I think the main concern is, are you violent? Are you a drug abuser actively, because you should never hold having a drug problem against anyone. But if I'm not actively drinking and drugging, and I'm not a pedophile, and I'm not violent, then what else do you need to know? What does me not having money to pay my bills at one point and having some collections or judgment against me have to do with trying to get a job to take care of those things? It's just very discouraging. Uh, and you almost feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm 34. I have a great guy who he's moving along. He's making good money. He's probably going to get another job in a different place. He's not going to stay a sanitation worker forever, but he has options. He doesn't have all these things on his background. I don't necessarily have the greatest record. I have been charged with a, misdemeanor, and apparently it might come up on my record. I don't know. Uh, and so I think that's holding me back. My consumer report, um, I can't seem to get a hold of it, and that's something that retail uses. I don't know what could possibly be wrong, except for the fact that my credit is less than poor, less than bad. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what else they want and what else is coming up on my name that could possibly be affecting me now. I mean, we're talking any of these mistakes that I've made go way back, like 10 years back. So, I don't know. I don't know what it is. What's preventing me from getting a very simple cashier job? I just don't get it. And it's starting to make me think, what am I going to do? Like, what's going to happen? How am I going to have a family? How am I going to have things in life? I've never had this. I worked 5 years. The last job that I had before my mom getting sick and things like that, and then I was kind of just preoccupied and just doing that. I worked 5 years at a dry cleaner for a private owned place. He wasn't a national conglomerate. It wasn't a chain. It was just, I worked for the owner. I was on the books, but I worked for the owner, and that was 5 years straight. So that's all I have. I mean, the last time I've had a retail job, I mean, it's retail, but I have not worked for a chain in many years. So I don't know what else to do. It's kind of getting to the point where it's like, dude, I have no way I have no way to generate any income because I have no active employment right now. Or everybody, I mean, I have literally a notebook, every application. I go through all the websites and online things, then walk-in applications, Aldi, Dollar Tree, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and I was denied by Rite Aid last year. Now, 2 years ago, I didn't pass their second round. AC and more. I went into the interview. I did the first part of the interview. She said, "Okay, I will call you back after your second." It's like a second round of a background check. Didn't hear a thing. Nothing. That was it. Never heard back from them. I called the girl. I said, "Look, can I get a copy of whatever it is that your second round of background check is? I'd like to have a copy of it. I see it's my right as a citizen, and I would like to know what this paperwork is and what's on it." So, I'm trying to read the comments, guys. I haven't been reading the comments. I'm sorry. So I'm worried for my future. Um, if you could go back, I'm sorry, guys. Let me try to catch up on the. Hi, Susan, uh, Melissa. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. If someone has bad credit, yeah. If someone has bad credit, the thing is, the 7 years, it doesn't get wiped away unless it's been satisfied. If it's never been satisfied, then it doesn't get wiped away. And satisfied could be two different things. You could satisfy a debt, like let's say if creditor calls you and says, "Look, if you give us $340, we're gonna that's it. We're gonna close it, right? However, you really owe $835, right? So now you have satisfied the debt, but not in full. And so when later on in life you want to get a mortgage, you want to get a loan or something like that, those are going to come up because they are satisfactory, but not in full. So you never want to take the, if you can afford to pay it all, because it doesn't count as a full satisfactory it's not doesn't count as a full satisfied debt. I have paperwork in my safe. I can tell you all about it because I've done it twice already. So it doesn't get wiped away unless it's satisfied in some form or fashion, and then it will come back later on if you go to apply for a mortgage loan, etc. If you have a balance on something, it will absolutely show up. Did I miss anything? I don't see many people on I see quite a bit of people in here, but I see only like two of you are commenting. Am I missing something? Let's hit this arrow. That's so weird. Where is all these 27 people? I see V here. You know what it is? I'll tell you. All right. Vivi says, you know what it is? I'll tell you. You got to lie about stuff. And V, absolutely. Absolutely. I do. However, I feel like there's some ways that it comes around in that consumer report, because I definitely do lie. I never say that you know, I've ever been convicted of a crime. I mean, and not for nothing. It's been X amount of years. I always thought after, is it 7 or 3 years that it was off your record. In certain instances. Um, but I do know a felon who's lied and now they have job. Look, I definitely don't answer the question truthfully. I definitely don't tell them anything. I never tell them that I have Medicaid. I've had SNAP, a form of food assistance, which now I no longer qualify for, and it was taken away from me because I don't have a job. You have to have a job, or you have to volunteer someplace 20 hours per week, 80 hours a month, volunteer or work 20 hours per week, 80 hours a month, making a certain amount of money, mind you, in order to qualify for SNAP. They did away with um where, like, if you like I'm in counseling, right? That was, at the time I was in counseling twice a week. That was good enough to uh qualify. Not anymore. You actually have to work. So now you're going to give me, so now I'm going to have nothing. I'm not working and I'm having a hard time finding a job. And I would submit logs to them, like somebody unemployment, you have to give logs that you're looking for a job. I would submit this to them, but you have to have 80 hours of that. I mean, that's a lot of looking for a job. You know, the average application is 45 minutes. You'd have to do a lot of those 45 minutes per week. I mean, geez. So it was like, I was telling the lady, look, I never had to do this. So when I submitted the paperwork, I didn't have a full 80 hours because she gave me the paperwork on the 7th of the month and wanted it on the 14th of the month. So I assumed she wanted those days. So then when I got on the phone with her, she called me and said, look, you don't have, and I said, but you didn't ask me to go back. You said you were sending it to me and that was that. I thought I had to go from that date forward. And then it was due like by the 14th. I had like 7 days. So I was denied for the second time. I said, this is crazy. I'm not going to beg. That's insane. I said, look, I get you guys are trying to deter people. I don't know, how you think this is going to work, but if you have a job for me, sign me up. Let's go. Absolutely. Let's go. But I'm telling you, this is what I'm doing. I'm searching for a job. And now you're going to take away my resource to go food shopping. You're not giving me money. It's not monetary value. It's not like they're giving you, it's like a hundred and something, $192 per month, right? It goes on your insurance card. It's not like they're giving you cash. It's not like you can go to a debit or ATM and take out money. It is solely to buy food. And $192 really is not a lot. Food is super expensive, even no matter how much you coupon. So now I'm in a worse position. Now I don't have a job. I don't have any sort of supplement income to help me along the way. So now all the burden is on me and Nikki. And I'm getting like to the point, I'm getting to my breaking point. Like I'm like what's next? What is next? What happens now? If you were denied credit or you were denied employment, it won't give you a score. However, it will give you. Sophia Smith says, "Hey, Dana, sorry, just got in the chat. Didn't catch the whole thing, but you're entitled to contact each." I know what my credit scores are. They are less than poor. I have bad credit. Bottom line. So it's not that I don't know the credit scores. It's just that they are bad. What I don't like is that it's being used in the actual application process. That's what I don't like. You have to electronically sign on applications for that to be taken into consideration. For what? What does that have to do? What does me and my credit have to do with getting a job? It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It's called the Fair Credit Report Act. Then yesterday I finished the Walgreens app. Oh my God, this is this kind of assessment deck. And then you're going for the tax credit survey, they call it. I had to take pictures of this stuff because I couldn't believe the questions that they were asking. They want to know, you ever been on Medicaid for the last, in the last 2 years? Have you ever had SNAP? They want to know everything. What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand that. And then, the lady at the Medicaid office tells me, if you are having, if you really have no resources. I said, I don't have any resources because it's not my boyfriend's responsibility to pay my food bill, to make sure there's, tampons in my cabinet. That's not his responsibility. I'm a grown woman. These are my this is the problem. This is my struggle. This is what I'm doing. And I'm asking for a resource that I've always paid taxes when working. So where'd all that, I paid taxes since I've had a job, since I was able to work at the age of 14. So where's all that money that we pay into? Now that I need help for all the taxes that you've taken, now I need some help from it. I don't understand. What don't you get? So she's telling me to go apply for like public assistance, like a cash grant. I said, tell me something. Don't you have to pay that back? Well, if you own something like a house or a car, they put a lien on it. I said, so you want me to go and see if I can get maybe $25 a week? That's going to take 2 months. You don't get any food assistance. You get a little bit of money that you could buy your food with, which is like less than half of what they would give you for food, the food card. So maybe you're going to give me $80 a month. And then you tell me when I get off and get if I want to buy a home or own a car in my name or anything like that, you would put a lien on it to get that money back? I don't want it. That's crazy. I imagine I get married, I go to purchase something, and I have to give money back to, New York State for public assistance. Keep it. $80 my ass. Melissa, it's not about filing for bankruptcy. I don't owe that much money. I really don't. And that's what's crazy to me. I owe, it seems to be that I have a judgment against me. And I haven't gotten any paperwork for it in a while. The judgment against me is for just under, it's about $1,700. Now, prior to the judgment, two separate times I have defaulted on credit cards, like younger, in my younger years. The minute I could have a credit card at 18, 21, whatever it was, Kohl's, Fashion Bug, well, Fashion Bug I would always pay. Capital One, So when my grandfather died, I did pay a lot of that off. And then I did get into some more credit card debt, like home shopping, things on the TV, and never did satisfy it in full. Some of them I didn't take care of, and that's what I believe one of these judgments is for. I think I have an AT&T bill, maybe from 10 years ago, uh, maybe a little less than 10 years. But I think that the total that I owe can't be more than $2,500 in total. There's no way I would ever claim from bankruptcy for $2,500. That's silly. Um, and which wouldn't help me with a job anyway, because obviously they're looking at that. So now they're going to see, oh my God, she claimed bankruptcy for what? For $2,500? And I wouldn't qualify anyway. You have to have X amount of debt to qualify for Chapter 11 or Chapter 5. So that wouldn't work. And I would never do that because I would never want to ruin my name like that. I plan on, owning a home someday, and I don't want that on my name. Not for $2,500. Sophie says, if you could at least see what's on the report, and if it's not correct, like I said, I have seen it, and what's on there is correct. However, it's apparently not good for them. And then it doesn't make any sense that credit is taken into consideration for a job. It just doesn't make sense. Also, too, this equal opportunity bullshit is a lie. All they do with that, because they have to by law, certain places have to by law say we're equal opportunity. No black person or is going to get a job over a white person, and vice versa. If you have a disability, they can't use it against you, yada, yada, yada. However, the way they get around that is they say, oh, we found somebody a little bit more qualified. We'll keep you in mind. Or you're too qualified. We found somebody that we can better pay, the rate we're looking to pay. They can word it a million different ways. So Dawn says they don't put into consideration if you have kids, you have to pay a sitter. It will cost more for a sitter than you make. Absolutely. Medicaid, you cannot make over a certain amount of money, right? Now, there's no way in a retail job getting part-time hours, I would make enough to pay a premium in New York State for health insurance. And in New York State, it is a law that you carry health insurance. You will be fined, and it will be taken from your IRS filed taxes. As soon as you file taxes, it comes right off the top. It is a fine that you will pay if you do not hold health insurance. So, Medicaid is more valuable than $100 a week, $125 a week. Absolutely. Because a premium on a low plan, I'm a medical insurance coding biller. I know this. This is what I went to school for. A premium on a low scale, on a very low scale, you're looking at a minimum of $540 to $620 per month. So if you're lucky to get part-time hours, and now they're going by what you gross, they don't go by what you take home. Medicaid will say, oh, you're making $250, but remember, 30% goes to Uncle Sam. So you're really bringing home about $180, maybe even less. So that's maybe $600 a month. There's your insurance right there. How you going to eat? How you going to pay gas? How you going to have toiletries? How you going to live? Can't pay any rent if you had to pay rent. So it's more valuable for people to stay on Medicaid than to have a part-time bullshit job for 120, 30, 40, $50 a week. You'd have to be making your premium times 3 just to survive, especially on Long Island, New York. My mother is paying just where this house sits on the property well over $10,000 a year. Well over. So just for her to pay her taxes every year, which you pay twice a year, you pay in January and then you pay again 6 months later around tax time or whatever. You pay around January or tax time and then 6 months later. So just for her to put money every month to pay those taxes, it's almost $1,000 per month just for her house property taxes. That doesn't count heating, electric, water, your mortgage, if you have a car insurance, health bills, anything. None of that. Homeowners insurance, all of that. $1,000 just for what this house is sitting on, and then you got to maintain it, mow your lawn, make sure everything is clean, maintain your house. Things break, oil burners, got to fill up your fuel. You know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. Sophie says, "Got to get ready for bed." I know, guys. I had to come on late tonight. So of course my moderator is not here. So we have, hey, I want to be famous. Blobfish says, "What is this?" So I want to know, what is a famous blobfish? I would love to know what that is. And I missed Dogman. He said, "Oof, damn, we missed a little bit of fun. That sucks." People are weird. People are weird. This world is getting effing crazy. It's getting real sad. Whoa. What if you try and look for under the table work? Susan, that's basically what I try to do, you know, because, I have to try to make money somehow. So, of course, absolutely. Um, whatever off the books, I'm taking it. But at some point, things got to get moving, So I did for now the civil service jobs that you don't pay to take the test. So the test hasn't, you can't sign up yet. It hasn't come live to sign up. That's going to start in December. I'm going to see if I can get put on the list to take the food service worker. It's a New York State civil service test. Now, Nikki took a test for the Metro Transportation, the MTA, Metro Transportation Association. I don't know what it exactly is. To work as an electrician, because he's worked for Con Edison, a huge conglomerate. Con Edison is like New York City's electrician company. That's all they have. So he took a test, but you got to pay for those tests, about $80 or $90. They range, some even higher. Because I'd like to see if I could work on the subways. So I'm going to do a civil service test first, see what happens. But in the meantime, I would like to I need to have a job. And I just can't believe, some of these things, these jobs are just asking for outrageous information. For me not to get hired at ACM or Rite Aid, what? Like, what is that? What is that? It doesn't make any sense. And having things on your record, I see, is a huge monkey wrench. And it's starting to really mess with my head, because I'm constantly worrying. I don't sleep, I don't eat right. My body's under stress. My females out there, you know what happens when your body's under stress? You don't get you know what every month. That's not healthy. I would like to have a child within the next few years. And I need to be physically, in the best shape I can. And all of this constant thinking is not good. It's not good I can feel it. Physically, I can feel it. And it's starting to take a huge toll on me. I have no um I used to, right now is fall time. There's DIYs I want to do. I'm doing a collaboration with Bargain Beauty for a Dollar Tree fall DIY, and I'm going to do some dupes for Pottery Barn. And I usually would like to do some other things on the channel for DIYs for Halloween, and I have no gumption, no want. I just don't have any. I can't explain it. It's like not that I don't have ambition, but I just don't have any wants like to do anything creative. I'm just not feeling it. My blog, I'm just not in it. I'm couponing is just draining me. I try to keep my channel going because the more I can keep my channel going and try to make some income, I haven't gotten paid in this will make the second month I haven't gotten paid because I don't know what happened to my channel, but it went like this, and now I'm slowly trying to have to climb out. So I haven't gotten any revenue from YouTube. So it's just a lot. Jennifer says, "Hi Diana, I just thought Jennifer, my sister moved to North Carolina, and of course, not of course, I'm just saying things didn't work out with her 25-year marriage. She misses her family. She doesn't have anybody there, and she's dying to come back to New York, and now she can't. So if I leave here and go to any other state, I'm stuck there. Because once you leave New York, you'll never be able to make it. You'll never be able to come back because the cost of living is lower, the pay is lower. There's no way. And there's no way that my fiance would ever leave. He'll work two jobs before that would happen. And I'm never gonna leave my mother. That's never gonna happen. I don't know how many years she has here, and I'm not gonna, that's just not gonna happen. You will overcome that. Melissa says you will overcome this bad patch in your life. I hope. I've been through some worse situations, so I like to think that, this shall pass. I just don't know when because it's taking quite a while. Nellie, what's going on? Diana, I missed out most of the beginning. I hope you find work. Prayers if there's a family member or someone else who can recommend you to get hired for a private company. It's ridiculous that they look at your credit. So unfair. Absolutely, Nellie, it is unfair. And unfortunately, it's like I don't really have too many, hookups. Like, Nikki, he's got like he got a job because he knew somebody, he knows how to talk. And then he meets somebody else and he gets like a hookup for getting my oil changed. And some lady hit me and we got a hookup, getting the car fixed and not having to pay the deductible and actually getting the deductible in my pocket. Um, but I guess guys are different. Living in the city is different. I'm stuck here on Long Island. I don't have any, you know, really any friends, because anybody that I used to associate with is not good for me. It's a lot of the reason of how I ended up this way. So, I'm on my own. Nikki is my rock. Melissa says, just take it one step at a time. I have learned God always tests us for sure, for sure. I need a break from the test, I need a break. And I don't by any means, and anybody that's here listening, don't for 1 second think that I don't know that even though things are bad for me and I don't have a job and it's hard for me to get employed right now, that I don't know that I don't get and appreciate and am not grateful for what I have. I have a mother who would do anything for me. I have a roof over my head, food in my stomach, clothes on my back, for not a second, don't appreciate that. That's not what this is about. This isn't a woe is me event. I'm just simply trying to let you guys know this is what's out there. This is my experience and what's going on. And that's just the bottom line. But by no means do I not absolutely understand that it could be 100 times worse. And it has been worse for me. I can't disclose all the things that I've done in life. Other people, I can't take the chance. Look, the internet is not a nice place. You have to be careful what you put out there because once it's out there, it's stuck there. So I do have other people that can be affected by the things that I, forthcome and say about my past and things like that. So I can't tell everybody everything about my life A to Z. It's irrelevant in some ways. And also, it's just not good to put out there because once it's there, it's there. So there is a little bit more to, how I got into this position. Uh, nothing, nothing mind blowing that I'm sure people hear every day. However, it's just not. I have to think about others around me, but I am most certainly grateful for what I do have. I just am hoping that at some point in my life, before it gets too late, that I'm not struggling trying to have a family and have a little bit of something before it's going to be that much more harder for me. You know, women have like a timeline, we have like an expiration date, and it gets scary. I have Anna here. Hey, Diana, it's so tough right now. What type of work are you looking for? I mean, Anna, at this point, I figured because I need a part-time job. It would be, and I'm home all week, so I would like to work like everybody else, Monday through Friday, maybe even Sunday nights, and just a receptionist job, cashier job, just a basic. I'm not looking to be a nurse. I'm not looking to work with any type of where you have to have certain credentials. Just a regular job. Um, I have taken the civil service test. The civil service test, they don't have, a lot of them don't have fees. Because my whole family has worked for New York State. So I did take the civil service test twice for the mental health therapy aid. But it goes by what you score, and you get in chronological order or numerical order, I should say, to that score. Um, so that that takes time. Uh, I got to do something in the meantime, you know. So we were just talking about civil service that I would like to do the food service worker. So I went on the website and um, it won't go live. Like you're not able to sign up for it yet until I believe December. And then the test, I have it in my huge book of everything I log. It goes live on a certain date and then you schedule for the test date. And there's no fee for it. So I'm going to do the food service one for New York State. You probably would work in a hospital, mental health hospital, something like that. But in the meantime, I need a regular job, just a regular job. And I can't believe the lengths that you have to go through just to be a cashier or, pretty much I notice it's a lot with cashier jobs for large chains, Rite Aid, Walgreens, AC and more. It seems like those type of places, they have you jump through hoops. 2 interviews for AC and more. It was like, what's going on? What are you running here? You're not dispensing meds. You don't have patients. You don't have children. This is a retail store. You sell craft supplies. What could you possibly need to know about me? I don't understand. What's important is that you are trying to get back on track and figure out something. People make mistakes. Thank God you have a good guy in your life. Absolutely, Nelly. Absolutely. Anna, thank you. Hang in there. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for joining us. I haven't seen you in the comments in a while either. Um, it's nice to have some. I like to see. I always see a lot of the same ladies. We're missing Yolanda, missing a few people, missing Brianna, but it's nice to see some of the same women, especially women. You know, I was looking at my analytics, and I think I have 99.9% women that watch my channel. Like I'd have like one guy, which is fun. It's a couponing channel. I mean, I get it, but I thought it was funny, that it's like all women, and then I like that I see certain women in the comments, and they have a nice upbeat way. They make jokes. We can talk. We email. We exchange numbers. Me and Brianna, we FaceTime. We text. Um, Me and this lady, Ingrid, she actually contacted me through a video I put up when I first started, and it had nothing to do about couponing. It had to do about drug and alcoholism, and being a daughter of an alcoholic, and just things like that. So she had sent me this like message, and I was just so touched. And um, we talk here and there, and we text, and it's just nice to have that. I always say, if you want to send me like a card or write a letter to me, email me, and I'll give you my address, because I can obviously weed out who might be a stalker. um Plus I don't have the money to pay for a PO box. So but it's nice to have you know women that take the time out, because we know how women can be. We can be not so nice to each other for no reason, and it's not a good thing. As I've gotten older, and as I get older, and now I'm a grown woman, I say to myself, all the time I wasted being hateful, for no good reason. And a lot of times they say, if there's something in somebody, especially for women, they say this: if you come across a woman and she irks you in some type of way, generally, if you don't like someone, it's because you see something in them that's in yourself, and it's something that you might have an issue with about yourself. I found that really, I had read that, I've heard that in groups, counseling groups, and I took a step back, and I said to myself, it one in particular situation where this girl I just didn't like her, and I just wanted to knock her upside her head. Like, I just didn't like her. I didn't like the way she presented herself. I didn't like the way she looked. I didn't like the way she dressed. I picked at everything. And then as I got to hear her talk, and the more I would come across her, uh, and then people that knew her would, say, "Oh, I'm friends with her," and, this story and that story. And I would be like, wow, me and her were actually a lot alike. That's probably why I didn't like her. And it makes sense. Linda says, it's sad, we should stick together. Absolutely. As I get older, and now that, I'm not that 23-year-old, mouthy, think who I am, young, naive person, it's important to have women in your life that you can call, that you can vent to, that you can count on. It's really important to have women friends. Um, because nobody gets, there's things in life that, you just can't call one of your guy friends and discuss, and that they really get it, and that they can really come from a place of experience and give you feedback. So it's absolutely important to have at least a couple of women that you can bounce whatever off of, and, get feedback from. And at least, they have some experience with it because they're a woman. Aisha M says, it's a strange society that turns women against one another for entertainment and for capitalism. Well, women against men too, for that matter. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a shame. I said this the other day. I'm like, the world is like, it's getting crazy. Things are just getting really crazy. My mom volunteers. She is in recovery and she volunteers a lot. And so my mom worked 38 years in the mental health profession at a state run psychiatric center. On those grounds, they do have a therapeutic community for drug and alcoholics, right? It gets paid for by the state. People that have Medicaid don't have the money, that's where they go. So they need people from the outside to come and run AA meetings, things like that. And they need it for the patients as well. So seeing as my mother worked there for all those years and she's involved in the program, she volunteered to take the commitment. I think it's twice a month, once every other week, to sit with the patients and do a meeting for drug and alcoholism. Because a lot of times, a lot of those patients, usually they've either had something already brewing in their, whatever it is, schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever, and then it gets amped up by drug abuse because they self medicate, or it's drug induced and they end up there. Whatever, they're there. So they have the option to go to these meetings and they need outside speakers. So my mom makes the commitment and she does it twice a month. And it's crazy to me. She says to me the other day, she goes, not a lot of them participate, whatever. But there was one lady there that does other, what would you say, like volunteer things. She is like a coordinator. And do you know that they're now putting in the schools, like public schools, you know how you can go to, like, you were able to go to your guidance counselor if you had a problem at home or if you had a problem with a student, you went to your guidance counselor, or you didn't and you fought, whatever. But you could go to your guidance counselor. That was who you were able to talk to in a safe place, right? So now they're going to incorporate drug and alcohol meetings like NA, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. They're going to hold these meetings in public schools during hours that they're at school. And if they need to go, it's, because it's all there's anatomy to the fullest. Like it's all anonymous. Nobody knows nothing. They just walk in this door and that's that. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, is it really that bad? Is it really that bad? I have no words. I, what? What happened to the DARE program? I know it doesn't always work. I can attest to that. But oh my God, to think that it'll probably take effect sooner than later, and my kids will be going to school, and you know, it'll be part. It'll be something that they'll have available to them, where they can go to a drug and alcohol meeting if they have a problem and don't want to tell their parents, and try to get help on their own. I think it's, of course, any resource is a good resource, absolutely. At the same time, what I'm saying is it that bad? Like, is it really that serious? And it's scary. But all right, everyone, I don't want to take up, it's getting late. If you're on the East Coast, it's 11 o'clock here. So I'm going to try to, I don't know if anybody else is a fan of ASMR, but I am. And I love my girl, Maria from Gentle Whispering. She is amazing, talented, underrated. She should have triple, quadruple the subscribers that she has. She is an amazing ASMR artist. She is so beyond good at her craft. I don't even have words to explain it. She came here on a whim with a girlfriend from Russia. She came to New York City, and she's been on talk shows. She's well educated. She also works, and she's just amazing. She's absolutely amazing at what she does, and I just absolutely adore her. So that's the one thing I have to look forward to at night. I put my headphones in, I put my gentle whisperer on, and I just try to decompress. That's the best that I can come up with everything that is in this brain of mine. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to come and watch and be part of the live. I appreciate every one of you. I will not be putting this up as a video. It's just not appropriate. This was just something for me to come and dump and vent and just let you guys in a little bit more on who Diana is, that there is much more behind the couponing and all of that stuff. I am a real person, and you know, there is much more things going on in my life, and I like to share as much as I can. I always have said this. I am definitely raw and real. I try not to hold back. I'm not a video great quality perfect person here, lights, camera, action. It's not that type of party. It's kind of like come as you are. So I hope that you guys accept that, and to the ones that do, I have thoughts and prayers with you guys, and I will see you guys all in the next one. So I hope everybody has a great night. Monica, we're gonna say hi before I leave. Monica Miller says, "Hey girl, what's going on?" She says, "Hang in there, Diana. Sending prayers your way. This too shall pass." Monica, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And guys, if any of you want to talk about anything that was mentioned in this live or anything like that, my leg is killing me. If any of you guys want to talk about anything that I maybe even touched on and didn't go into depth, my email is below. Feel free. Send me an email if you just want to connect, talk. Just, that's definitely not a problem. Because not everything is internet appropriate. So I would be more than happy to take a minute and to give my opinion, or if you just want to ask me some questions, that's fine. So the email is below, and of course, if you're looking for deals, the blog is below. Just click the link, it'll take you right there, and all my other socials and everything. So keep in touch, and I will see you guys. I'm hoping to get some inserts so I can give you guys a preview. My mail lady's been jacked up lately. I don't know what's going on. I should have had them today. So we shall see. But okay, everyone, we are coming up on an hour. So thank you again. Don't forget to thumbs it up if you have not. And my prayers and thoughts to everyone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your kind words. And I will see you guys very soon.